Martin Truex retire? The time has come. Maybe Martin Truex Jr. is retiring. The NASCAR community is buzzing with the news as Truex's departure marks the end of an era. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson's playoff waiver has been approved, ensuring his spot in the competition. As the silly season continues, Gibbs Racing is rumored to be considering 3 new drivers to fill the void. So, in today's episode, we'll explore Truex's legacy, the impact of his departure, and what this means for the future of NASCAR racing. In the world of NASCAR, decisions can turn the tide of an entire season, and the recent decision involving Kyle Larson is no exception. Larson, a top contender in the series, found himself in a unique situation when he chose to participate in the Indianapolis 500, causing him to miss a NASCAR Cup race. This move put his playoff eligibility in jeopardy, but NASCAR's decision to grant him a waiver has kept his championship hopes alive. The decision wasn't made lightly. Elton Sawyer, NASCAR's vice president of competition, emphasized the extensive internal discussions that took place.
We embrace the double. We think it's great. We want to see other drivers have that opportunity. Indy is a big race. Obviously, the Coke 600 is a huge race for us. To not have Kyle Larson in our playoff and give our fans the opportunity to see him race for a championship and compete against some of the best drivers in the world, at the end of the day, didn't feel like that's the right decision for us to make, and we didn't. We felt like we got to the right spot.
Kyle Larson stays in the game, keeping his playoff hopes alive. It's a relief to know where he stands, but that's just the tip of the iceberg in today's racing news. As we speak, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Michael McDowell are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And they're not just taking a leisurely spin. They're there for a tire test. And this isn't any old test. It's for the Brickyard 400, a race that's making a comeback later this year. It's bound to be interesting to see what they say about the experience. Tire tests at Indianapolis aren't just a formality. They're crucial. They can make or break a race, so this week's testing could be a game changer. Now let's switch gears to NASCAR silly season. Bob Pockras from Fox Sports stirred the pot with an article that's got everyone talking. He's laid out some scenarios that could shake things up. The big question on everyone's mind is Martin Truex Jr. Will he retire at the end of the season? He's been pushing that decision down the road for a while now, but what if this is it? Pockras threw out some names that could fill Truex's shoes at Gibbs Racing. Chase Briscoe is one of them. He's been with Stewart-Haas Racing, but they're closing shop after this season. Briscoe's been seen chatting with other teams. Many think he'll join the Wood brothers. That makes sense. Briscoe and Ford go way back, and the Wood brothers have a strong partnership with Penske. That's a setup that could lead to playoff glory, especially if Briscoe takes the wheel of the number 19 Toyota. Briscoe's no stranger to victory. Cast your mind back to 2020. He clinched 9 wins in the Xfinity Series, and even now, in what's a transition year for Stewart-Haas, he's posting the best average finishes of his Cup Series career. Remember Phoenix 2022? That was Briscoe's moment. I'm rooting for Briscoe. Him moving to JGR would be a big deal, but he's not the only one in the spotlight. Bob also mentioned Noah Gragson. Gragson's been linked to several teams, including Richard Childress Racing. But if Truex Jr. steps down, Gragson could slide into that spot at Gibbs Racing. He's got a connection with Bass Pro Shops, which could play a big part in his move. Gragson's history with Toyota is a mixed bag. He raced for them back in 2017 and 2018 with Kyle Busch Motorsports in the Truck Series, but he didn't exactly set the world on fire. It was only when he joined JRM that he started to shine. He's got talent, that's for sure. This season, Gragson's been turning heads. He's racked up 5 top 10 finishes, and the number 10 car hasn't looked this good in years. Gragson's been a big part of that success. Now, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Eric Jones, the racer who once had the backing of Gibbs Racing, has indeed faced a tough road in recent years. 4 years ago, he was replaced to make way for Christopher Bell, but his fans have always seen his potential shine through. At 28, Eric Jones has already claimed victory at the Southern 500 twice, a testament to his skill behind the wheel. The year 2023 marked a significant shift for Jones as his team Legacy transitioned from Chevy to Toyota. This change introduced a series of new challenges, especially in terms of assimilating an influx of fresh data while maintaining the advantageous technical partnership that 2311 Racing has established with Gibbs Racing. Instead, Legacy has been working closely with TRD, but the journey has been anything but smooth. Jones, alongside his teammate Nemechek, found themselves struggling in the points, ranking 25th and 26th respectively. Despite missing 2 races, Jones managed only 1 top 10 finish throughout the year. This streak of challenges raises concerns about the impact on his confidence, especially considering his back injury, whose long-term effects remain uncertain. Many believe that if Jones were in the 19 car, he would consistently make the playoffs. However, whether he can match Martin Truex's performance in winning races or contending for the regular season championship is up for debate. Looking at other racers like Chase Briscoe and Noah Gragson, it is clear that the field is competitive. Briscoe is seen as a well-rounded contender, known for his work ethic and camaraderie with his team. His prowess on road courses and previous deep playoff runs suggest that, in the right circumstances, he could vie for the top Cup Series championship. Gragson, on the other hand, he's a wild card. His success in the Xfinity Series showcases immense talent and potential, but his unpredictable nature and commitment have been questioned. This year, however, he has proven capable of leading in the NASCAR Cup Series, leaving many to wonder about his future success. Then we return to Erik Jones. The expectations for Legacy Motor Club were high, with many predicting a playoff berth for Jones. Yet as the season progresses, he remains outside the playoff picture, rarely breaking into the top 5 or even top 10. It begs the question, is the issue with the car, or is it Jones himself that's struggling to adapt? Erik Jones, Chase Briscoe, and Noah Gragson are 3 names that have been tossed around in the racing community lately. Each of them has had a unique journey in the sport, and their potential future with Gibbs Racing has become a hot topic. Let's delve into their careers and speculate on what the future might hold for them. Erik Jones has faced a whirlwind of changes in recent years. With constant rebranding, shifts in ownership, and a carousel of teammates, it's been a challenge to maintain consistency. These changes can either forge a driver into a better competitor or hinder their progress. For Jones, it's a bit of a puzzle. Chase Briscoe, on the other hand, seems to be a more stable figure. Known for his resilience and steady growth, Briscoe appears to be a safer bet. He's shown that he can handle the pressures of the sport and deliver solid results. Noah Gragson is somewhat of an enigma. With less visibility compared to his peers, he remains a wild card with a high ceiling. His potential is undeniable, and the right sponsorship could unlock his capabilities. Gragson's future seems bright, but it's still uncertain how far he can go. That unknown factor makes him an intriguing prospect, doesn't it? And now let's talk about Martin Truex Jr. The speculation about his retirement has been a recurring theme. Despite the challenges he's faced, including a winless streak that's been a source of frustration, Truex remains a formidable competitor. He's consistently in the top tier of the standings and has strong rapport with his sponsors. He's not overexerting himself with tire tests or other strenuous activities during the week, which allows him to perform at his best during races. It seems like he's in a good place, doesn't it? If Truex decides to continue racing, it would not be a surprise. He's still competitive and seems to enjoy the sport. However, if he chooses to retire, it opens up a seat that could change the dynamics of the racing scene. Briscoe, Gragson, and Jones are all viable contenders, but what about Chandler Smith? With some experience in the Cup Series, he could be ready to step up if the opportunity arises. Now, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you share this video with all your NASCAR buddies and hit that subscribe button for more awesome NASCAR content.